Now for the peripherals of the chip. The Atmega 328P has loads of things it can do. Driving these things are the peripherals on the chip. Peripherals can be categorized into multiple groups. These are communication protocols, SPI, I2C, UART, serial, 2-wire serial interface, timers and counters, and PWM channels. So these are the communication protocols that the Arduino is capable of. Communication peripherals allow the chip to communicate to other devices, may it be other chips or your computer, for example. Serial Peripheral Interface, or SPI, is often used for short-distance communication with sensors and more complex hardware like displays. Integrated Circuit, or I2C, often used to communicate with sensors. The I2C reference design has a 7-bit address space. The I2C bus has multiple modes of operation with maximum transmission speed, but most microcontrollers only have standard mode, 100 kilobits per second, and fast mode, 400 kilobits per second. Universal Asynchronous Receiver Transmitter, or UART, can also be used to communicate with your computer using a serial converter chip called a serial bridge. It sends data bits one by one from least significant to most significant, framed by start bits and stop bits so that precise timing is handled by the communication channel. The 2-wire serial interface on the Arduino uses the UART protocol. Pins 0 and 1 are the serial interface. For all these peripherals, there are fitting Arduino functions. A fundamental part of every microchip are timers. Timers are used, for example, for delays, creating signals, measuring signals, and pretty much everywhere where you need to time signals. PWM channels are for digital signals, where the modes of operation are either on or off, that is, 0 volts or 5 volts. The PWM controller can control the time the pulses are apart and the duration of the pulse. PWM channels can lower the average power output by having delays in on and off cycles. This is called a duty cycle. At 100%, the average output is 100% of 5 volts. 50% duty cycle is 50% of 5 volts, which is 2.5 volts average output.